because if you see somebody place a ward, by the time you see it on the stream, it's gonna be gone for 6 seconds.
that's some nice information to have. Though.
Well, yeah, if you're a good support player and you can abuse that, I suppose you could, but that's about it. I mean, you wouldn't know if they have a new ward already or whatever. There's no dragon timers in the UI. There's no baron timers. I'll probably hide chat. So yeah, no use spectating. Well, we can see already some pretty standard bans going down. Just the standard OP characters: Shannon, Mumu, Blitzcrank, Lee Sin, Kha'Zix, Malphite. And you can see that as a response to that, all the OP champs that haven't been banned yet are probably gonna get picked. So we see Elise coming out for the blue team. I kind of expect to see maybe a Thresh, because that's pretty broken too right now.
A Thresh?
Yeah. It's okay. Unbanned, so
I would love to see a Thresh in a game. So many people are just like, yeah, it's too expensive to buy, so we wait for a week.
We wait a week. I know. It's insane. They just like added 1.5K for the first week. That's wow.
Well, let's wait a week then.
I know, or just like not buy him and buy 3 tier 0 champions or tier 1 whatever. Ooh, Tryndamere, man.
Holy moly.
This is a pretty AD heavy team so far. We have a Pantheon and a Tryndamere. So what do you think? Where's this Tryndamere going? Is this a Tryndamere top or is this a Tryndamere jungle?
I seriously got no clue what they're trying to achieve with this Tryndamere. I'm a bit confused. Especially since we can't tell it what their summoner spells are, but
no,
I really don't.
We cannot. I do like this comp on the left side going down on blue team. This is a comp that my old team I used to love to run. I'm kind of missing one more champion on it, and it's a really strong comp. It's we called it the Frost comp.
Yeah.
There's one more key champion to it. I'll tell that in a second after they get to pick the last 2 champions. I hope actually to run it in the future with my new team as well. Even though Anivia took a little bit of a hit with the jungle and the blue buff changes, it's still a very decent comp.
Oh yeah, Cryptics just sent me a message and you actually don't want to know. I can't say it right now, but
well, we have the adult content
no.
checkbox on, so you can say pretty much everything. You still get strikes for copyright stuff, but apart from that,
I think you're gonna see some naked blue Smurfs running around Summoner's Rift this game.
Okay.
With this freeze comp.
This Frost comp, no, it's
Frost
I don't see the last champion yet. The champion that I was talking about that is part of our Frost comp anyway is Sejuani, the boar rider girl. She is pretty strong actually in the current patches. I don't think people realize that yet. Her weakness is the early game jungle, that's true, but as a comp it's a really strong engage and disengage comp built around slow, which is really very for either kiting or sieging. And especially into the late game, this comp really starts to shine with the strong triple CC initiates that you can chain pretty easily and at a long distance. And it's great if you're an AD player because you don't have to worry about people diving you. So let's see what they try to achieve
I'm
with this
really,
Leona though.
I'm really curious what Team Purple is about to do. I don't know if Cryptex is trolling me, but if it's true, holy moly, man! I've never, I've never seen it before.
Well, all in all, I don't know about the comp itself, on Purple Team, but the individual champions are very strong champions. Syndra right now is the champion with the single highest burst in the game, uh, even higher than LeBlanc right now.
Okay.
We've got Olaf, who is obviously being the highest pick and ban champion in the European qualifiers last weekend. Very strong. He's got some nerfs incoming as well. We have the Ezreal, who is well, pretty much once you get your core 3 items, which are the Bloodthirster, the Static Shiv, and the Frostborn Gauntlets. Even though you don't necessarily match Ash's damage, you will be virtually uncatchable if you play that right. Then you have Pantheon, who right now is also he fits the bruiser meta very well, and obviously he is very strong early game. So right now he's a very snowbally champion. I believe his E, which is the armor shred spear thing, actually also applies black cleaver stacks. So that could work out very well for them. That being said, they don't have much disengage other than the Syndra. I think it's the E that is the knockback.
On Cinder. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I believe it's the E. It's like a cone knockback,
Yeah.
kind of like a Janna ult, lower cooldown but lower radius.
Gather the weak, it's called.
That's it. Now, that being said, we have a Elise and a Zed on the other team who are very strong assassin types, and they should be able to get to this Ezreal through their comp. Even with the Elise, even with the Syndra being present there, it's going to be hard to stop them because of Elise's jump. Obviously, it makes her untargetable for a little while. And Zed can just jump to his shadows, which actually can't be blown away or knocked away. So even if he knocks Zed away, he can always jump back to his shadow. Alright, so I'm just gonna remove the blinds on the summers now. They should be in-game by now. If they're not, they can't actually change their summoners anymore, so we can just
Let's show them.
switch to this view, and now we can talk about summoners. So yeah, take it away. Let me know what Cryptic told you, or actually maybe not, because it might involve some tricky level 1 plays that we can't give away.
Well, it's not a really. Yeah, let's. I don't know if they're already in lane or whatsoever, so let's wait on that.
No, they're probably in the loading screen right now. Maybe already the game started. I can't say yet, but they're definitely not at the level 1 point yet, so we might not want to give anything away about that. We can see pretty standard summoners on the left side. We have Triple Ignite, which is kind of interesting, to be honest, because Ash doesn't have a cleanse, and that's pretty strange if you ask me.
Yeah,
You have a jumping Pantheon that can stun, and you have obviously the Syndra that can hit you from a long way away. Now, Syndra's summers seem to give away that she might be the support in this game,
yeah.
which means that it could very well be a Tryndamere mid or top. You never know.
I got some confident information that they're running
User
like
joined your
Tryndamere
channel.
mid.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Syndra support together with Ezreal, AD
Now,
carry.
I have ran Syndra as support before, and she is actually a very strong support if you have an AD that can get away.
Okay.
That
Like
being
Ezreal.
said, I am slightly worried about the Leona Ashe comp in that lane because Ashe has a very strong slow on both the volley and her frost shot. And Leona, once she jumps you, it's pretty hard to get away. So I'm not convinced it's going to work out. However, the fact that Ashe doesn't have cleanse can make that lane quite dangerous, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's more.
Because
It's also about running Ignite nowadays on an AD carry.
it's a real trade-off. Usually, Ignite takes preference to heal because all in all, it's a 5 health point difference between taking Ignite and heal. Um, on top of that, if you have the Mastery, Ignite gives you some ability power, which not all the ADs, but some of the ADs profit from. So Ignite usually takes priority to heal. However, a lot of ADs right now run Cleanse because of the uh, current Bruiser meta. And the Bruisers right
Welcome to the
now,
Summoner's Rift.
they tend to build Warmogs early on, which makes them very tanky to overall ult damage. And it allows them to jump in and CC the ADs. You can see like a Pantheon and a Tryndamere, they're not going to have too much trouble getting to an Ashe if she doesn't have Cleanse. Especially if they have a Syndra that can land her long range stun.
Let's see.
30 seconds until
Blue
minions
team is
spawn.
going for their red, and purple team is waiting for blue team to show up.
So we have some trash talk going down here. It's pretty nice psychological warfare. We can see a pretty cheeky invade. However,
You can turn it off though.
none of the teams so far
Minions have spawned.
have placed any wards. You can see they actually decided to not send Tryndamere mid, but top instead. And you can see Olaf pretty much doing the standard start. Still no wards on the map though. Now we have the first ward going down here. It's pretty much to cover the steal. Makes a lot of sense. They get a free red. They deny Olaf this red, which is pretty good because Olaf he can gank early, but the slow on red really. Oh, look at that! We got some cheeky action going on here. 4 people up top, level 1. So like I was saying, the slow on the red buff really helps Olaf gank early games. He can spam his axes for damage and slows, but it also makes it easy for the enemy to juke him because he's gonna want to grab the axe after throwing it, so the cooldown goes down. But that means he might have to walk a different path, and that's not always ideal. You can see, however, that even though blue team is walking around a lot and losing a lot of XP in the bottom lane, they managed to catch this Olaf off guard, and pick up the first blood for their team. They got actually up to 3 assists of that, so that's a lot of gold, and you can see that on the gold difference up on the screen. It's already 500 gold lead for the blue team. And this Tryndamere is going really aggressive here. He just outright takes down Elise. Elise getting ignited, preventing her and her spiders to steal any life back. Even though the counter ignite went down, it still wasn't enough to take down Tryndamere. And that top lane is beginning to go in favor of Tryndamere, even though the level 1 gank chunked him down pretty hard. What do you think about Tryndamere's items, though? Are you even here still? Okay, guys, zutec is AFK, I guess, or something, or he has some microphone troubles. What I'm getting at is, this Tryndamere, he went for a tome, an amplifying tome, level 1. That's pretty strange start for an 80 character, which means that he's probably going AP Tryndamere. Now you can see that some of his abilities scale off of AP. I can show you guys in the stream if you're watching. You can see that his heal skills of AP. You can see that his spinning slash, which is what he just did, it does AoE damage in his path. It also scales pretty good of AP. On top of that, his passive. Nope, that's not true. It's not his passive. No, it's just his heal and his spin. Still though, the spin seems to scale 1-to-1, which is quite a lot actually. And it's gonna help him a lot when it comes to fighting Elise's spiders. Alright, so we can see that this bottom lane is having some trouble here. They did come into lane pretty late, even though they got first blood, so they're pretty much a level behind right now. You can also see a rather big difference forming up in the CS score right now. You can see it's 13-30. So that first blood, which is 400 gold, is about 20 creeps right now. And they're pretty much even gold wise, which means that the blue team is really at a disadvantage because they seem to have the same amount of money. However, the XP is in favor of purple team. Welcome back, zutec.
Sorry.
So yeah, what I was saying is I was kind of surprised by this Tryndamere build. What do you think about this build?
Let's see. He is going AP Tryndamere. I haven't seen that in a while.
He is going AP Tryndamere. I have seen it. I have seen it on a pro player not long ago on the US servers on the streams.
Used to be really, really good.
It is still, I believe, and like I was telling the stream viewers already, both his heal and his spinning slash scale with AP, and the spinning slash, it scales 1-to-1, so it scales like the Janna W before she got nerfed in season 2, and it scales as hard as the Nunu Ice Blast.
Okay.
And I think that's going to help him a lot against Elise spiders if he can one-shot them. The question is
Oh.
though, is he going to be able to one-shot them?
Exactly. Oh well, we have to find out during the match.
Right, so we see this Olaf coming up for a gank. They have a pink ward in lane, so they're going to see him coming, but is it going to be enough?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Unfortunately, you can see that it's not going to be enough, and this is maybe a situation where Ashe, having cleansed, might have gotten a trade kill, or might have helped one of them get away. However, I don't think it would have mattered too much.
Nice 4-man gank.
You can see that they're pretty on top of the standard procedure here. They got a kill on bottom, which means they have some kind of an advantage.
Oh, Cryptic.
And they try to press this by doing the dragon. Cryptix is getting pretty low. Fortunately for him, the ward that blue team just had in the river timed out, so they have no actual idea of the dragon going down or of Cryptix being low. Anivia just she probably anticipated dragon going down because Pantheon went missing, so they took the time to take blue just now. We see some trading going back and forth up top lane. However, it doesn't seem to be going in anyone's favor too much right now. You can see though that Elise won there. Definitely had to do a lot with spiders, I believe. Because yeah, not a lot of people realize it, but the little spider thingies, combined with the W speed buff, they actually do a lot of damage. They can do up to like about 40% of the total damage that Elise does. Some pretty hard action going on there. Ashe throwing on the stun ulti to catch the Pantheon in his ult. Purple team not able to follow up after that engage. We see Syndra picking up Zed though, out of a very unexpected corner. They didn't have vision. They didn't see her actually going in here. They thought she ran away since Olaf backed off. So she managed to catch Zed on a sneaky invade there. So Zutec,
for Murillo.
yeah, he's going for Morelos. Why do you think that that is a good or bad choice?
Well, not for the mana regen. That's one thing for sure.
Well, it's obviously not for the mana regen.
I think it's all about the cooldown reduction.
Personally, I think it's about the passive. I don't know how familiar are you with the Elise mechanics right now?
Not really.
Okay, so if you press 1 on your spectator mode, you're gonna swap to Elise and you get like this little screen there.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
You can read if you read her W, you can see that for 6 seconds it increases Elise's attack speed by 80% and her spiralings as well.
Yeah.
And while this is active, Elise is healed for 4+2 health when she or her spiralings attack. Which means that right now she has an attack speed of 0.7, which then goes up to about 1.5 attacks a second, which means that's 3 attacks in 2 seconds. So she's gonna have about, I would say, 5 to 6 attacks of her and all her spy links, which is in total is 4. which means that she's gonna get healed for quite a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So the Murillo will just shut that down, right?
Yeah, what Morales does is if your target is below 50%, the basic attacks apply grievous wounds, which prohibit healing for up to 60%, I believe. We can see Saxy having some trouble here. Cleanses the ignite.
Oh, and he barely survives. And there's the heal.
Barely survived that second basic attack.
So close, so close.
And this is some good map control by Zed. Good realization that their red is up. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his Wriggles or a ward up.
Oh, at the red. Zed is beating Pantheon. Oh. What is he going to do?
He still manages to pick up the kill and steal the buff. Anyway. And this is not going to be good for this Pantheon. He's already pretty behind. He's up against a ranged champion in mid, being about 30 CS behind and 1 kill behind. So that's not gonna help his chances too much. Right now you can see blue team is just slowly but surely building their advantage. They already have an almost 3k gold lead, and it's not getting any smaller. What do you think the best answer would be for a purple team right now?
I would say try to get the dragon whenever you can.
Well,
if they get the dragon,
it just
so
spawned,
important.
And purple team seems to know this. They got the last dragon. The timer was 15:15. You can see they instantly take it after taking down Anivia. Arrow is a fraction too late. Not gonna hit anything except for maybe somebody that would be camping in this bush. I don't think that was the plan though.
Oh, the dive. And they pick up 2 kills or what? Yeah,
pick up 1 so far.
Yeah, 2 kills.
And that's the second kill.
They're just getting wrecked at bottom 9.
1 for Pantheon, 1 for Ezreal. Pantheon's gonna get traded upon though by Zed with the double buff. Not being in the best position right now. Chooses to engage on Zyra, gets stunned instead. But manages to pick up a kill with the help of Anivia. Is he going to get away? No. He's not going to get away.
The double kill for Anivia with the double buff. Oh man.
So yeah, Ezreal still got the shutdown, so he got about 800 to 900 gold out of just that engage with the 3 kills. Unfortunately, the double buff went back to Anivia, so that's not going to be the best thing for purple team right now. However, we can't count them out yet because they did manage to make the gold difference a little bit smaller.
Leona's building already has a Shurela. Do you think that's that's a great way to build? Start off with the Shurelas in this situation?
Well, I think that the Shurelias isn't a bad choice per se. It gives you a cooldown reduction. It gives you the movement speed buff, so all in all, I think it's a decent pickup since they have a lot of slows in their team. However, Ashe is the one that they really need to protect in team fights and in lane. And like I said before, Ashe doesn't have cleanse. So if she gets caught in a Pantheon stun, Tryndamere slow,
Double kill.
or a Syndra stun, the Shurelya is not going to help her too much, I believe.
Purple team just got aced by what was it? A triple kill for Anivia and double kill for Anivia.
It was a,
Purple team's turret
I
has
believe
been
it was a
destroyed.
double kill for Nivea, and Zach got a kill as well.
Oh man, how are they going to come back like this?
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe
I'm really curious about the team fights.
maybe they have some good plans for team fights. Maybe they're just gonna stay in lane a little longer. Honestly, I don't know. The curious thing though is that bot lane seems to be going in favor of purple team, and it seems to still be going in favor of purple team. However, they can't seem to manage to get a good advantage out of that lane. The advantage mid lane is still growing further and further towards blue team,
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
and slowly but surely Elise is starting to win top lane as well. You can see that even if they gank her, they have a lot of trouble picking her up before.
Look at the fight at top.
Exactly.
Oh
You
boy.
can see that extra 2 seconds that she gets being untargetable by the E. It is enough for her team to actually show up and back her up, and that is really hurting purple team's chances right now. They make the ganks happen. They have good ganks, but they can't pick Elise up before she can jump away. And once she does, there's already a Ashe arrow on the way and Anivia to save their teammates.
Oh, Anivia, so low.
And
Gets
that was
away with it.
that was a very unlucky break for Syndra right there.
He gets away with 10 HP. How lucky.
It was a nice try. It was a good effort.
No, Cryptex is not gonna respond on the recall of Anivia. Although they had to try bushward it.
They are at this point just not in a good state to do anything to this Anivia. You can see that she is 9 for 1 with well, a pretty high CS, really. There's only one on purple team that out CS Anivia, and that's the Ezreal, who right now, let's face it, doesn't have the same damage that Anivia does. He's going for the well, let's call it standard Ezreal build right now, which is the Bloodthirster Shiv Iceborne Gauntlets build. It is great in lane because you gain armor, you get cooldowns. However, he decided to go for attack speed boots, and he also decided to build a early sheen, which means that your damage output really takes a hit.
Interesting to see that Ashe is building a Bloodthirster as her first item.
Yeah, it's quite uncommon, I would say, to see a Bloodthirster before an Infinity Edge on Ashe.
Blue team slain.
Due to the lack of damage early on.
I guess, I don't know. It could be due to the lack of damage, but it could also be because Leona is a support that provides a lot of bonus damage on her passive. That was a very nice snipe right there. The Leona passive provides a lot of bonus damage for Ashe, so she might not need that Infinity Edge. However, she does not have any sustain, and that can be something that's pretty tricky against an Ezreal and Syndra, who have pretty high poking and harassing range. You see that that stun just pretty much cost her her life. And a double kill for purple team.
What were you doing there, Ash?
Yeah, this is another one of those situations where getting stunned by that Syndra while being out of position, that's gonna cost you your life unless you have cleanse. Or a QSS for that matter. Now, looking at the builds, I'm not really convinced about this Pantheon fitting into the current comp. What are your thoughts about this?
Hurt?
Oh, that was one beautiful Ashe snipe. I'm not sure if you were watching that. Ezreal apparently wasn't.
User joined your channel.
Ashe sniped Ezreal with their ultimate all the way across map.
Holy moly.
Hello.
Oh.
Well, hi there.
Zuidel's going in kwijt.
Okay, so that's I think that's Duitzer.
No, it's OptiClash.
Oh, it's OptiClash. Commanding in the background on the Dutch news right now.
Jullie weten dat we de enige Nederlanders zijn in deze channel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're
we're
currently,
actually streaming a community practice game, so there are people actually listening and watching on the stream. That's why we're talking English instead. We're having a big team fight go down here. We can see Zed jumping in and out. Still not dying here. He manages to pick up the Tryndamere that went in. Tryndamere is still. Oh, look at that! Syndra dropping really fast. You can see that Ignite tick still going down with the Leandrize damage over time. Some more engage in the middle. Anivia trying to keep them off as much as she can. Ezreal going pretty low and getting sniped again by the Ashe arrow. So, like I was saying, I don't like this this Pantheon too much in this comp. If I have to be honest, because even though he has a Black Cleaver and the Armor Shred, Tryndamere going AP only gets his damage from his Q. That's the only AD damage that he builds. On top of that, he doesn't have any attack speed to match that AD damage output. And Ezreal, he built sort of semi-caster, with the exception of the boots, which he actually went for attack speed. Which means that a bunch of his damage is going to be AD, but a bunch of his damage is going to be AP as well. The bonus damage on his W, for example, and the damage on his ultimate, it's AP, so he might not fully benefit from that Black Cleaver. This Pantheon just pretty much missed his shred. Manages to pick up Elise in the end, steal the blue buff. I'm not sure if Pantheon is the one that can profit from that most right now.
They really have to get those objectives.
But yeah, all in all, I think that was a mistake by Elise going for a buff while she was low. You see that they know what is going down. They have vision on blue team. They have a warden right there, but they can't do anything about it. They are getting slowly but surely. They're getting bullied back to base in the mid lane. Which is a really tough situation for them because they already have that inhib down, which means that the Baron could be a real possibility for blue team right now.
Baron is warded with a pinky.
Oh, look at that. Ezreal completely out of position, having to blow his splash
Oh boy, oh
to
boy.
try and get away.
Oh, that arrow misses!
Ash misses her arrow, but Anivia still, with 0 mana, manages to pick up that Ezreal in the ulti. Alright, you can see Saxley going in really aggressive on Anivia, getting her down to egg form right away almost. And
Did he just crit?
yeah,
Oh.
I think he did, yes.
Even
Even though the Tryndamere AP, he still managed to take down Anivia in mere seconds.
Oh, Tom missing his sword, and Tryndamere is down.
Elise going aggressive on this Olaf. The damage over time
boy.
ticking. It's gonna probably pick him up there. It doesn't.
No!
I missed the kill on Pantheon, but I think it's pretty clear what happened there. I'm not gonna rewind that. He pretty
they're
much
going
got
for the
ganged on by
Baron.
3 people.
They're going for the
And
Baron.
you can see Elise jumping on the Baron right there.
fun.
Abusing that vision that she has to jump, use her E to jump over the wall to Baron, save that much more time.
And
Interestingly
Purple
enough,
doesn't
she
have to clue.
switches back to regular form, which really, if you have the spark yourself, you might not want to do that. Right, so this is looking pretty bleak for purple team. They're about 11, actually exactly 11k behind now. They are down 1
That's Syndra.
inhibitor and a couple of towers, and a Baron buff. You have the Syndra going a little bit aggressive there. Out of mana though, so I think she might have gotten lucky that Zed didn't realize this or didn't go on this. I don't think Kirby realizes though that Anivia is 14-3 and has a lot of damage right now. A little bit overzealous, especially with the additional damage coming from Baron buff. All purple team can really do right now is defend and hope for the best, I think. Because if blue team doesn't make any mistakes right now, they should be able to pick this game up no problem. You can see that Ezreal, he has his core items. He has that AoE slow, the long range, so he can kite them very well. But unfortunately, they are so tanky right now that the lack of damage that he has kind of affects these battles. And you can see Olaf is by far not tanky enough to actually go in like that. And yeah, I think we can safely conclude that
This
Blue
is
can
over.
just steamroll pretty much through their base right now. They lost 1 member, which was the support.
This is over for
Whereas
purple.
2 pretty important members are down for purple.
Nice wall.
Pantheon going down, the wall preventing him from escaping the base.
Oh, that's all.
And they are so confident right now that they just die of the turret and ace them. Olaf is going to be back up, but it's not likely that he's going to be able to do anything to defend against this push. Tryndamere with 0 attack speed, trying his best to pick up Ashe there. Does it successful, barely gets away with his life, has to blow his ult to survive. But there is just no way for them to defend the space anymore.
What do you think of AP Tryndamere in this game? I mean, the only thing he can do is swing his sword and Run away.
Well, Tryndamere, he gains AD as well from his abilities. However, what I kind of lacked on this Tryndamere in this game is the attack speed. Even though you get passive AD from all the Tryndamere skills, he didn't manage to actually use that AD because he had no attack speed. On top of that, it would probably be have been better for the Tryndamere to go mid up against Nivea, honestly. It would make farming